Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, an infant formula company on a mission to get a lot closer to the most superfood on the planet, breast milk. Our patented protein blend has more of the important and most abundant proteins actually found in breast milk. We're the first and only U.S.-made formula to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, not skim. We even conducted the largest clinical trial by a new infant formula company in a quarter century, with clinically proven benefits like easier digestion, less spit up, and softer poops versus a leading infant formula. And we make our own formula in the USA and our very own factories in Iowa, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.
Hey, it's Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedian Coco Brown talks about raising a son.
Raising boys has got to be different than raising girls. I don't think you have to literally threaten your child's life to bathe, to clean their body and their crevices. The one struggle I had with raising boys is forcing them to wash their arses. I don't understand. I sweat for 30 minutes and I need a shower. I can't. I feel icky. My child, if I was allowed him to, would go days and not wipe his behind outside of the wet wipes that I make him use on the back of the toilet.
Today on the show, comedian Coco Brown talks about raising a son. Stay close.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, comedian and actress Coco Brown, and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. Now, last week on the show, I had on comedian Helen Hong, and she talked about her drunk dad. And at first, when she said my drunk dad, I thought, oh no, alcoholic story. But really, her dad was a very fun drunk, and her story is quite light and funny, and about how her father demanded to get her ice cream even after Baskin-Robbins closed. So go back, you guys, listen to Helen Hong. What a wonderful talent and just a fabulous girl. So go back, listen to that, you guys, but not today, because today I have on another incredible female comedian that I don't know how, man, but somehow this girl has gone past my radar for several years now. But now I am addicted. Her name is Coco Brown, and she is a tour de force. That's what I say, tour de force. Does that make sense, Coco?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've been called many things. Sharon Osbourne called me a machine gun of comedy. So
you are a machine gun of comedy.
I'll take it all.
You are the best. And today you bring forth the topic, raising boys.
Yes, Lord.
So I know this is going to be a good story. Now, I have one child, and they are actually non-binary. But they were born my girl, and I have to say, when now they're 15, but when they were growing up, all the way growing up, and I saw the boys in her school and all the boys, and I thought to myself, baby Jesus, thank you for giving me this girl, because these boys were just maniacs. At the playground, they couldn't stop running. They had so much energy.
Right.
And anyway, I was grateful to have my child.
I have the opposite opinion of that.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, honey. When I first got pregnant, I said, God, if you've ever loved me, you will give me a boy. Because if you give me a girl, that karma's going to come back too strong. I will not be able to handle it, let me tell you.
That is very, very funny. Now, let me ask you, you have a brand new 1-hour special out right now called Famous Enough.
Yes.
I watched the entire thing. I had tears pouring down my face.
Oh, thank you.
Coco, I'm telling you, let me just ask you. Now, you guys can watch Famous Enough on Amazon Prime, correct?
Yeah, Amazon Prime, YouTube, iTunes, Apple TV, it's Hulu, it's everywhere.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, that was a full hour.
Yes.
How long have these bits, because I'm a comedian as well, but these bits, like it comes so fast, it's so rapid fire. This seems like more than an hour. It seems like an hour and a half, but you push it into an hour.
I did. I mean, I know one time it was a comedy fundraiser where comics went on stage, and the longer you stayed on stage, the more money you raised. And I did 5 hours. When I say I unleashed the arsenal, it was like every joke I had ever even thought about writing or telling. And so when I got the opportunity to work with Comedy Dynamics and do my 1 hour, I was like, okay, how do I squeeze 25 years of everything I've done? And what bits do I believe deserve to go here? It was one of those things where I stepped out of my own way towards the end, and I said, I'm just going to let it flow. They gave me 2 opportunities to shoot 2 separate times. I got about an hour 15 each taping, and each one was different. And I just went there, and I just let my mind go. I knew the material was there. I knew the timing, the delivery was there. I just let myself be free. And in the end, I really liked what the end result was.
So are these words written on a page, or is this more just bullet points and then you go stream of consciousness?
Well, most of those bits that you saw on the special are well-written, developed bits. I will, that's why I think it's easier for me to deviate from the joke and talk to somebody in the audience or co-sign with somebody, whatever, and then come right back to that bit where I left off, because they are well worked out jokes. You know what I mean? And I always challenge myself to create my own jokes. Like, I remix my own material. That way I never get bored with what I'm doing. That's why you'll never see the same set twice with me, because I'm constantly remixing my own material in my head. So I kind of I know the bit, I know it goes A, B, C, D, and E, but I'm going to throw in there a lowercase a, a square root of 2. I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of other stuff in there, keeping it fresh in my mind, even though I know how the bit's supposed to go.
Well, we see what's so nice about that is that makes you be in the moment and be physically and thoughtfully thinking of each word, because you might change the word, so you're not just spewing out a line.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes somebody in the audience can yell something out, and that will make me respond to them. But I will never let myself get distracted enough that I can't come back to where I left off.
Where you need to be. And so when you write your chunks, are you writing in 5-minute chunks, 10-minute chunks, or who knows how long?
Honey, I don't even time it. I've got some bits that are all of 35 seconds, and I've got some bits that are all of 14 minutes. I don't really time the bit. And a lot of times when I've done TV, like the shows like Comic View and First Amendment, and, when I, went on America's Got Talent and I had to shove everything into 3 minutes, I have certain bits that I do say, okay, that's a 2-minute bit. That's a 4-minute bit. That's a 10-minute bit. My mentor, when I first got in the game, Darcel, the Fat Dr. Blejmont, taught me. He came from the days of when your whole point in life was to get on Carson. And Carson. To get on, the Late Show, you know what I mean? Late night TV. And you only have a certain amount of minutes.
And that's 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
So you only got a certain amount of minutes. So he taught me how to work my bits, because in his mind, I was going to go late night TV at some point. So he's like, okay, make sure that every bit you do can be worked into this amount of time. So that's how I don't have to add meat too. The bread and the meat is enough. I don't have to add lettuce, tomato, cheese, and onion. It just depends on the bit.
Now, I know that you have a master's degree in secondary education. Did you ever teach? And where did you?
Yeah, I did briefly.
Was it high school or what was it?
High school. I did middle school and high school. Middle school and high school, it was very, very brief. I realized that I wanted to, pursue TV and film and stand up more, but at the same token, also realized that, these kids are different than what I thought kids were. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying whatever, but there was just too many little boys in there that weren't little boys, and I shouldn't have been looking at them that way. So I said, let me get the hell out of here before I catch a case.
I know. I carpool my kid, and this one boy just turned 15. I'm like, hello, who is this child?
Right, like you have to catch yourself and realize that's somebody's child.
That's
Right.
so funny. But what subject
Yeah.
did you teach?
I taught history and I taught English.
Yeah. Oh, man, I bet they loved you so much.
I kept them laughing, especially my depictions, how I explained world history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, is when you go into a classroom with that much energy, it's hard to back off the energy, I would think. So therefore, you have to have that energy 6 or 7 different times a day for each class. So it's flipping exhausting, right?
No, it was exhausting, but I never went like overdrive. I was just me, but you let my friends that grew up with me, that know me 25 years, they said you've always had timing and delivery. You just didn't know what it was for. Because they said, because you could say something at the most perfect time and we'd all be like, yo, like, because she said, so, you going into a classroom, you know how to engage and bring them into your world, but you also know how to say stuff to keep them engaged. I never had any behavioral issues when I taught, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
I think my students respected me.
Sounds
They
like
knew
it.
they could come and talk to me. But I never dealt with behavior issues. Even the school bully or the one that had the bad rep showed me nothing but love, But it was just like I went in as myself, and myself is just, I guess, naturally funny and naturally empathetic and supporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't go in on this high and mighty thing.
Yeah, sure. Wow. I'm sure they just absolutely loved you. You just mentioned, helping kids, giving them advice, etc., obviously, as a teacher. But then you said something about like how you couldn't give them examples anymore because you didn't grow up during that time. It was something like that. I'm not saying it right.
I guess it's almost the same way as why I stopped doing college shows as a stand-up. And when I first got in the business, I mean, I was so in NACA. That's all I did was those college shows. That's
National
what got
Association
me
of Colleges. Yeah.
college activities. Yep. That's what got me to LA. All the money I saved from doing those colleges. And it hit me about 5 years ago when I was on stage. Now, the good thing about the college thing is that your set really doesn't have to change if you base it truly on college life. You can say the same jokes year after year after year. Just change whatever popular rapper's out, change whatever popular trend is out, and the bit still works. But I also realized in the last 5 years, I cannot relate to these children anymore. And I'm out here doing these jokes, and they loved me and all that, but I'm not out here doing TikToks. I'm not out here doing videos every 5 seconds and throwing myself off of buildings or dressing up looking crazy. I am somebody's mama. Okay, I got material. I ain't got time to be entertaining you with the shenanigans.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to those who do. That's just not my thing.
Yeah,
So,
Coco, I so agree
You get
with
it,
you
right?
here. I totally get it. No, because listen, I started writing a book for tweeny girls like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it was called Aunt Teen Messed Up, so you don't have to, right? And I'm Aunt Teen,
Right.
Christine. And it was for my 5 nieces. But then, now, desperately, I'd love to share that same book idea and those chapters with my daughter, but there's absolutely nothing in common with what I wrote 20 years ago.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing rings true.
Yep.
It is completely different. My 15-year-old Coco does not want to smoke weed. What? Where did I go wrong? It's totally different.
You know what? I just realized what you said. I'm like, wait, what? The baby trying to save her brain cells. Wait a minute.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, our upbringings are totally different. Totally different.
I mean, I look at my son, I remember my brother at the age of 10, and it wasn't a pleasant memory. He was demon spawn, and my son is like the complete opposite. He is the sweetest, most compassionate, non-sneaky, non-lying, so honest as freaky kid. And it's like,
Yeah.
you came from me. Because I know the dirt I did. But it's like, and then too, he's not into all the trendy things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful that I don't have to worry about spending $200 on sneakers right now, because he still likes sneakers that light up.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
And most kids now, his age, you know, in this era that we're in now, you know, it's all about what's trending, what's hot. I mean, when you got kids 5 years old walking around with $2,000 iPhones, and they expect it. It's not like they don't know what they got. They know what they got because they demanded that $2,000 iPhone at 5 years old. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I'm blessed that I have a kid that, outside of, please make sure that my gaming chair sound is working, you know, make sure my headphones work so I can speak to all my other gamers. That's about it.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Boy, oh boy. But also you think about like what kids are living through, right? And the school shootings and the guns and all that shit. Like, how in the world could we address that? We didn't have anything like that. That didn't exist. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Well, I'm very excited for your story, and we're going to start that in just a second. But before we do, I wanted to remind everybody that we are playing Story Smash, the storytelling game show, every month at the Hollywood Improv. The next show is Saturday, June 25th, and you can go to storysmashshow.com for more information, and also follow Story Smash on Instagram at Story Smash. All right, you guys, she's here right now, comedian Coco Brown. You have heard her talking. She is a comedian and an actress, and she is loved for her breakout role in Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club. Also, you have a Netflix special called Never Have I Ever, and then recently you completed that 1-hour special taped live from Tribeca in New York, and it's called Famous Enough, which you can find at Amazon Prime or YouTube. All right, you guys, wherever you are, put your hands together for the very talented Coco Brown.
So, you know, being a single mother, you know, is one thing. You know, yeah, we're superheroes. Yeah, I said it. But raising boys has got to be different than raising girls. I don't think you have to literally threaten your child's life to bathe, to clean their body and their crevices. I do not understand why boys are not, they don't feel the dirt, the grime, the grit. They like walking around in it. They like putting on the same underwear 2 days in a row. Where is this written? Because apparently this is something that all boys do. Is it a rite of passage? Is it some part of a new fraternity that we don't know about called Dirty Fi Dirty? I don't know, but that's the one struggle I had with raising boys, is forcing them to wash their arses. I don't understand. I sweat for 30 minutes and I need a shower. I can't. I feel icky. My child, if I was allowed him to, would go days and not wipe his behind outside of the wet wipes that I make him use on the back of the toilet. So help me to understand, why do boys feel the need to be closely related to pigs and sloths? Because obviously that's what the DNA is showing me. Yeah.
Wait. Tell me more about your son. How old is he? What's his name? What's he do?
My child is 10 years old. His name is Phoenix, like Phoenix, Arizona.
I love that.
He is thank you. He is a gaming enthusiast. I have watched him make grown men cry because he's just that good at these games and what he does. I have to tear him away from it because he will stay there all day. And it wasn't a mistake. It was a great thing. But I chose to put my child in some coding classes during the pandemic so he can learn how to build and code his own games. Sure. And now he's become so now he's become an entrepreneur where he now builds these games and he makes his friend pay him in this gaming crypto money to play his games.
Wow. 10 years old, and this is all happening.
Yes, this is all happening.
That is incredible.
You know, and he's such a sweet child, you know, because everybody, you know, he's a big guy because my ex-husband, you know, ex-football player, big old wall of a man, but big old wall of a man, and my child is built just like him, which means I look at him and I'm like, my child's going to be a giant nerd. And I love it. I love every bit of it. He's going to be a giant nerd, you know, which means nobody will mess with him, but they know that he'd rather play you in Fortnite than fight you. You know, so.
Now, do you give him chores around the house? Like, in other words, I get that he doesn't want to clean his own self. He doesn't want to shower himself, but.
No, he doesn't want to bathe himself, but he will clean, let me tell you. So when he was about 5.5, I decided he wanted to start asking for games and Robux and all these little things that kids play with that cost money. And so I said, this is the perfect time for me to tell him, well, honey, if you want this, you got to earn this. Mm-hmm. So we made a board in his room. We put a big old piece of poster board, and we put down all these different chores. And beside each chore is a dollar amount.
Yes.
So depending on what you want will require how many chores you do to get it. So if he needs $35, he roughly has to do about 6 or 7 chores to get it. He's now got it down to a science that every Friday he calls me like a steel worker and tells me I'm punching in my time card. This is how much you owe me.
So no, I do this exact same thing with my kid. I don't give them allowance, but I do allow them to do chores for certain amounts of money. So tell me your money, like how's it go down? Give me the dollar amounts on what really pays out well and what is not such a big chore.
So one of the things that pays the most for him is blowing the leaves in the yard or blowing the leaves off the deck. Mm-hmm. He can make $15 if he does that. You know, on a Saturday morning, he'll get up on his own and he'll start blowing the leaves and he'll do the deck. You know, he knows I'm not too big of a stickler of him doing the whole yard because our yard is pretty big. But get the leaves off my driveway. Get the leaves out of my flower bed in the front of my house. Get the leaves off the deck. He's going to make $15. He also knows that if he washes my car. If he washes my car, vacuums out the car, wipes down the inside and like puts the armor all the shiny stuff on the tires, he's gonna make another $15. Then he'll go upstairs and clean his bedroom and his bathroom, which combined he gets $5 for his bathroom, he gets $5 for he gets $5 for his bathroom, $5 for his bedroom, and he gets $5 to vacuum. He's made so he's made $45 before 2 p.m.
That is so clever. Good for you. But I gotta tell you, well, a few funny things. One thing is I asked my kid if they would clean out the pantry, I'll give them $20. And they look at it and they go, not worth it.
Really? Well, you know what? You got 15-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So they understand the dollar.
Yeah.
I've got a 10-year-old that doesn't understand that in some of these aspects, I'm pimping him. He doesn't realize that yet. I've got about maybe 2-3 years left before he realizes, hey, this is not the market value to do this, Mom. I got about 2 more, 3 years to pimp him, girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm pimping him as long as I can, yeah.
Does he see his dad?
Unfortunately, no. No. But, you know, I'm really blessed and grateful. I have an incredible village of incredible men.
That's wonderful.
Who have stepped up. He has so many uncles. It's like, I know one day they're going to look at me like I'm crazy because he's going to be at a football game and they're going to be like, Phoenix, where's your dad? And he's going to be like, they all up there.
That's amazing, though.
Okay, so.
Well, that's role models, you know. That's so wonderful.
Absolutely. And it takes a village. It takes a village. And, you know, I don't even think about his father at this point because he's made his choices. But in actuality, you know, I'm pretty grateful because, like I said, my son does not lack for positive male role models.
Yeah.
He does not.
That's great. That's so great. Do you let Phoenix watch your specials?
Absolutely not.
I knew it.
I knew it. Now, what's funny is that in the summer times, he goes on the road with me.
Oh, wow.
You know, and when he was younger, you know, I'd have like the babysitter there, the nanny or whatever, and they'd have him either at the hotel room. But now that he's older, you know, he'll go with me to the clubs and he'll just sit in the green room. And they spoil him rotten at these clubs. Whatever Phoenix Brown wants, he gets. I mean, I go in there, it's lined up 10 plates of French fries, a pizza, and like 9 Shirley Temples. He's getting spoiled. He's the king of the castle back there. So usually there's a TV back there or he has his headphones on. I'm not worried. Well, I have come to find out that this little booger is taking those headphones out and peeked out to see what mommy's doing. Oh. And he has quoted me a lot of my jokes back to me. And I'd be like, huh?
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Yeah, because the club, the bartenders and waitresses give him everything they want, everything he wants. But then they got to go to work. I know, but then they got to go to work. So now he's kind of on his own and he's sneaking around and they're not going to reprimand him or anything. That is so funny. Yeah.
And like he's the king, but he definitely knows some of my material. I'm grateful that we've had the conversation about profanity and that he's not allowed to use it until he's 18. And then even then I have to approve which words he can use. Mm-hmm. Because, I am his mother and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Okay. There are times that I am unfiltered and I forget my kid is in the room. And there have been times that I've heard him repeat me and I've been like, hey, and I've made him understand that these are adult words and you don't get to use these words until you're 18. And then, let's look at the words we really need to have in our vocabulary. So he knows that when mommy's saying a lot of bad words, he's like, because she's out there talking to grown-ups,
Well, he is going to have so many wonderful stories when he gets older about this beginning, because you've probably heard like Pauly Shore and all those guys when they were young, the guys that grew up in the clubs. That'll be your son.
Yeah,
that'll be Phoenix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've realized that my child has inherited my timing and my delivery.
That's awesome.
I think I have a mini comedian on my hands, and it's like I don't know if he'll ever want to pursue it. But just at his birthday party a couple of weeks ago, it was him and all his little 9-10-year-old friends at the party, and they had a cooler, with all the drinks in it. And my child, clear as day, opened up the cooler and said, "Mom, where the liquor?" And everybody hollered because it was like perfect timing, delivery. And I'm like, you know what? And they're like, well, he is your child, Cokie. He is your child.
That is so sweet. What a good boy. That's adorable. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so when you go to the big casinos in Vegas, because you've headlined some big stuff, right?
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So does he go with you there?
He has never been with me to Vegas. I'm actually taking him to Vegas for the first time next month to go see Silk Sonic.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Because he loves Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is like everything to him. And so...
Such a good singer.
Yeah, so he has no idea, so I'm totally surprising him and taking him to see Silk Sonic in Vegas next month, yeah.
Wait till he sees and hears the gambling. Wait till he hears I haven't taken my kid to Vegas yet, but I can't wait to hear their reaction, to the slot machines, just to even walking through a casino. It's so different.
Yeah, like, what is this? Like, what is this? Yeah.
But it's also, then they realize that these people are gambling. Like they're losing money or they're winning money, whatever. Yeah. But it's going to be an experience, a learning experience as well.
Right. And I mean, he can't even be in there, but so he can walk through, but you can't stop and gamble with your kid there, No.
But he sees it. I'm just saying that they see it. They see the swim up poker. I mean, they see everything.
Exactly.
So that you're going to be doing a lot of explaining.
Yeah. I mean, I've got blackjack on my phone, and I've taught him how to play blackjack, but I don't think he realizes that that's gambling as per se.
I see.
Because I play blackjack on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, I know what else I wanted to say. I also think that when you raise smart kids, you're talking about what TV programs are on in the house. So if you watch bad comedy, then that's the comedy they're going to develop. Like my kid has always watched like The Simpsons and, just the smarter shows. So I think that's part of it. What did he grow up watching? Or what is he watching on television? Or maybe they don't watch TV.
He's not a big TV watcher. He has his favorite shows that it just depends on his age group. Like when he was a kid, like a baby, it was all about, Blue's Clues and Teletubbies and Yo Gabba Gabba. Right. Then he grew into it's all about anything Disney.
Yep.
You know.
And then they do a superhero. Did he do the superhero phase?
He went through his Black Panther phase. He definitely went through his Black Panther. Everything had to be Black Panther. He went through his Iron Man phase. He went through an Iron Man phase. Now it is. Now he likes the shows where it's the actual kids. He's not big on the cartoons as per se. Like now he loves the Proud Family. Okay. He watches that like mommy watches Power. If there's a new episode, don't talk to me. The Proud Family's on. And he's also like that with this new show called That Girl Lele. He loves that show. And I'm so happy because a friend of mine, David Arnold, created that show. So he always thinks it's the bomb when I tell him, mommy's friend made that show. He's like, what?
I know. That means a lot.
And he's very big into Jurassic Park, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the new one's coming out, so that'll be huge. Did you know that? Did you know there's a new Jurassic?
Oh, yeah, he already told me. He just recently went to see Top Gun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's reminded me daily.
That's adorable. Well, listen, I'm so happy to talk with you, Coco, and I'm happy to meet you. You're special.
Too.
I'm telling you, you're special. Really blew my mind. You guys have got to get out there and watch Coco's special, Famous Enough. I think that's a funny title. Good title.
Thank you. The story behind that is that I realized I am famous enough. I can still go to the grocery store with my kid and not need security.
Absolutely. I love it. You guys make sure you follow Coco over there on Twitter at CocoBrown22 and also on Insta at CocoBrown1FunnyMama. Also follow Storyworthy over there at Storyworthy. All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of the hilarious Coco Brown. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, darling. Thank you for having me on the show. I love this show.
My name is Christine Blackburn, saying, make it a story-worthy week.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy Podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.